So, are you waiting for the future through road? We recently took a trip to the mainland off our island that we live on here, and we got lost in a housing development. We ran into so many dead-end signs and various streets that simply curved back into cul-de-sacs leading nowhere. But all of a sudden, we came to this one street that ended in a barricade that read, "Future Through Road." I've never seen a sign like that before, and it hit me square in the face. This is what people are doing with the idea of 2012. People are waiting for the future through road that's going to take them into a state of transformation without realizing that the road does not exist. Just like the future through road that was on the other side of the barricade was forest, brambles, bushes, dirt. The idea of transformation occurring in December of 2012 does not exist within the realm of reality. It is a concept that has been created by humanity, and humanity wants it to exist because people are looking for a future through road rather than realizing it is here right now. The very thought that you're having in this moment as you are listening to me speak and looking at this video is creating the future that you are going to experience. And if you can wrap your mind around the idea that only you create everything in your life, then you begin to see there's nothing outside of you whatsoever that will ever be able to give you what you are looking for in any way. Even the end of a cycle, no matter what belief system or culture says that cycles come and go. And of course, we can top it all off by looking at the ridiculousness of thinking that a certain date on the Gregorian calendar, because that's what we're using to figure this out. Remember, we're not talking about the Mayan calendar here. We're using the idea of the Gregorian calendar, which is an ancient sort of Christian belief about what time is, to say that the Mayans predicted the close of a cycle on this date. And I know you're going to say that it's been figured out what date their calendar began by those who are, quote unquote, supposed to know. And I will remind you that the computation was still using the idea of the Gregorian calendar, which is simply one of hundreds of time devices used within planet Earth. What about the East Indians, some of whom believe it is 2036? Or the Ethiopians who think it's 2005? Are they going to be left out? Or do they already have their 2012 transformation and are soaring ahead of everyone else? It just doesn't make sense. So beginning with the grassroots of it all, the Mayans didn't create a calendar that said anything was going to happen to the world in 2012 or at any time at all. What their many, plural, many calendars did connect was the beginning and ending of cycles within astronomy. They had a calendar for short cycles and very long ones. The Mayans speak of the ending of a long span of time, which is slightly less than 26,000 years, and the beginning of another cycle, astronomically, pure and simple. That's all they said. And we don't really know when that is. We only believe we know based upon the calendar that we use. So just like right now, I'm in Pacific Coast time, someone on the East Coast at this time, Pacific Coast time is 12:41, the East Coast is experiencing 3:41. If I were to say it is 12:41 and everyone is to believe it's 12:41, everyone would laugh at me. This is what I'm talking about. I also know this. When you're looking for a headline or something to read, or when someone's trying to market something to you, there's a phrase within marketing and news that says, if it bleeds, it leads. In other words, you're more likely to read a headline that states, cataclysm coming soon, than you would read, your garden will be growing nicely. Human beings want to believe they are prepared for the worst because they want to control it. So keeping your eye on the possibility of chaos abounding gives you the feeling that you can ward it off. And yet it's an ill-conceived idea of safety. It is vital for you to know that there are dimensions upon dimensions of frequency available to you. There are timescales of experience you have no conscious knowledge of, and yet at the same time, if you could look into your future, you would see that everything that you're attempting to pull away from, everything you're attempting to stop from happening, is what you are creating. Your attention and your emotional input inform the vacuum of the future with the subject matter of your focus. This isn't personal. It's a relentless, impartial principle of physics, both physical physics and metaphysics. And if you don't believe your destiny is your choice, look at your life. How can you tell what you are creating? You will easily notice whether you are actually in balance with what you desire your future to be or not by feeling inside for evidence of struggle, effort, or fear. Or is it a flow? Or does it feel like a dead end? If it's not fluid within you, if you don't feel like you're flowing from one moment to another, then you are literally creating struggle and effort in your future, because your future is created based upon what you are experiencing right now. So the balance that I'm talking about is one of recognition. It is recognizing how you are living your life. Now, right now, in this moment. It's coming to the understanding that if you want to live in different times, if you are going to bring about the changes in this world you say you want, you have to use your life as the receptacle of information, as the transmitter and receiver of information about you. Remember, the information is impartial, pervasive, all-encompassing, and impersonal. It is neutral. It's a standing wave. You are a standing wave, spiritually and physically. Physicality is spiritual. Look at all of the concepts you believe are real. Really look at them. Feel them. What do they feel like? Do they feel like flow, ease, and bliss? You, as source-informed, must stand firm if this world is going to change into the new paradigm, the future you so desire. Then you will no longer be looking for the future through road, because you will be firmly anchored within the journey in which you are experiencing. So is the human species transforming? Yes. Will the human species continue to transform after December 21st, 2012? Yes. Why? Because the present state of affairs instructs human DNA that survival is being threatened. The fear, reluctance to commit to thriving, anxiety, general unease within the species signals the DNA that a change is needed if the species is going to survive. So, just like the rest of nature, because remember, we're animals as well as spiritual beings, change comes to preserve the continuation of the species in danger. You may place all types of woo-woo connotations upon what is going on if you wish. In fact, if it makes you feel better, by all means, please do. Do whatever you want to do. Whatever assists you in feeling supported is what your heart and mind will naturally tend to encompass within your belief system. Personally, I know that we, as a species, are in the midst of coming to a new understanding. And one of those epiphanies will be to realize that there is no 2012 transformation occurring. You cannot put a conceptual time or number on the ever-present embodiment of source consciousness. And you are source in form. You have absolute complete connection, linkage, and union within source consciousness. Be that source consciousness right now. Do not look for a future through road, which may inevitably end up in being a dead end. Rather, make yourself be the road, the journey that you know yourself capable of being, and create in your life the transformations that you believe will come in a future that only you can create through your thoughts and your feelings in this moment.